Hey, good evening, everybody. It's the Chris Salcedo Show here on Newsmax TV. All this week, we have been focused on a series that we call The Big War with China. It's a critical look at the communist nation. Our goal is to provide insight on their aggressive military buildup, their unfair trade practices, and their human rights abuses. Communist China, a government of thieves. That's our focus in tonight's preamble. The economic system of capitalism, or the superior choice of free enterprise, yields free, open and prosperous societies. Conversely, socialist and communist systems yield repressive, totalitarian, and sick societies. No better illustration exists in the modern world than communist China. Because they can't compete with capitalism, communist China has set itself on a course of state-sponsored theft. According to an interview in Newsweek, the director of the National Counterintelligence and Security Center says, the theft of intellectual property by the People's Republic of China costs America as much as $500 billion a year. That's tantamount to stealing, get this kids, $4,000 to $6,000 annually from every family of four in America. In another report, the U.S. Intellectual Property Commission said American losses are between 0.87 and 2.61% of annual U.S. GDP. The commission estimates that intellectual property theft worldwide costs the United States between 1 and 3% of its annual GDP. The report, citing China from U.S. Customs and Border Protection, also indicates that 87% of the counterfeit goods seized by customs officials come from communist China. As we detailed yesterday, China's theft can have deadly consequences, not just financial consequences. China, through sophisticated hacking and spying, have managed to pilfer nuclear secrets, making their nuclear arsenal far more accurate. They have also stolen U.S. stealth technology, giving them an advantage in their aircraft design that they didn't pay for. Typical leftists. Here in the homeland, according to FBI Director Christopher Wray, the FBI opens a case on Chinese activity every 10 hours. Wray further testified that the U.S. has, quote, over 2,000 investigations that tie back to the Chinese government. On the economic espionage side alone, it's a 1,300% increase over the last several years, end quote. Now, despite these facts, Joe Biden announces today that Russia is a national emergency. Not China, but Russia. Now, why would Biden ignore an obvious threat to divert Americans' attention away from an obvious threat like China to a far lesser threat in Russia? In case you're tempted to believe that China's malign activity is something new, and that Biden can't be expected to be brought up to speed after only assuming the Oval Office mere months ago. Back in 2013, when Biden was vice president to resident Barack Hussein Obama, a blind Chinese dissident, Zhen Guangsheng, received an award from a human rights group in a ceremony attended by several U.S. lawmakers on Capitol Hill. Chang said of China that it has a, quote, leadership of thieves, end quote. And as we just indicated, China has only gotten worse since then. A recent report published by the Information Technology and Innovation Foundation in Washington, D.C., indicated that China's unfair trade practices and strong support for its own businesses are slowing down global innovation and harming worldwide technological progress, in particular in North American and European nations. Since Democrat President Bill Clinton pushed for China's inclusion in the World Trade Organization, China has broken every promise it committed to upon joining. Now, one should have expected this. Everybody knows the number one virtue of the left: they lie. They always lie. Liberal policies are deadly. Communism kills. Any way you slice it, communist China is a major threat to freedom-loving people anywhere. Being a government of thieves, China doesn't deserve trade status, doesn't deserve a seat at the World Trade Organization, and certainly shouldn't be viewed as a, quote, competitor, as Joe Biden and his sympathetic allies suggest. If a coworker steals your ideas, do you call him or her a competitor? If a thief breaks into your house, steals your stuff, do you call them a competitor? No. You call them what they are: criminals.
Hey, I'm Rob Finnerty. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please join the conversation in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe, too. Hit the bell icon to be alerted to breaking news. And remember, there's a whole lot more on Newsmax TV, America's fastest growing cable news network. Newsmax TV, where real news for real people.